Kiddush HaChodesh, the laws of sanctifying the new moon, the new month. Right now, it's the simple stuff. Real complicated astrology, astronomy is coming.
This is simple?
Yes, compared to what we're going to.
Units are simple?
Well, yeah, let's learn. Kiddush HaChodesh, chapter 6. Okay, first halacha. When a new moon was sanctified based on testimony of witnesses regarding the sighting of the moon, the court would calculate the time of the conjunction of the sun and the moon in an exact manner, as astronomers do. Right? This is one of the things that they had to know. The rabbinic authorities of the Sanhedrin. This enabled them to know whether or not the moon would be sighted. Right? In other words, they had to know what is the reality, and then hear the witnesses and see if it was plausible. The first level of these calculations represent approximations of the time of the conjunction, their accuracy is not great. This approximation of the time of conjunction is calculated according to the mean rates of movements. The time of conjunction is calculated in this manner is referred to as a moilet. Right? The essentials of the calculations that are used when a court to sanctify the new moon based on its testimony on witnesses, the sighting of the moon does not exist. The calculations we use today are referred to as ibur. To explain, okay. Day and night are constantly considered as 24-hour composite. On average, 12 hours of daylight and 12 hours of night. Right? Right? That's a halacha, right? A halachic hour is not 60 minutes, right? That's a show. That's not worth much. An hour is divided out in 1080 units. This number is chosen because it can be divided in half into fourths, eighths, thirds, sixths, ninths, and tenths. Pretty amazing, huh?
Yeah.
That's how many units there are in an hour. Instead of 60 seconds times 60 minutes would be 3,600 units, right? This is 10,000. So it's approximately like 3 1/3 seconds a unit. Got it? 18 units a minute, right? 60 divided by 18 equals 3.333. Right? So 3 1/3 just seconds is a unit. So 1080 times 3.33
Are you using a calculator?
Mm-hmm.
I thought you were really smart.
It's not exact. It's 350. It's 3,600. I got 3,596. Let's see if I do a little more. Oh, okay. That's why you need all the threes. Now I'm up to 3,599.99. 3.33333. You need enough threes and you'll get to, right? I think 6 threes or 5 threes. 3.33333. And that gets you, okay. Wow, interesting. Okay. Got it? Each of these fractions contains many of these units. Okay. Number 3. So according to this calculation, the interval between one conjunction of the moon and the sun, the subsequent conjunction, according to the mean movement of 29 full days, 12 hours, 12 hours of the 30th day, and 793 units of the 13th hour. Right? That's the exact revolution of the moon and the sun meeting at the same point, 29 days, 12 hours, that's right, half a day, and 793 units, which is 1080 divided by 793 equals, meaning, it's like, it's something like, if I remember, it's something like, oh, 1 second, let's do that. 793 times 3.3333. Okay. And anyways, okay. So that's the exact time for the moon, right? So it's not 28 days.
29 days.
Right. So, so you see, that's why a month will be 29 days or 30 days. 29 days, just to show you where we're going. 29 days is a missing in the month, right? Because you're missing half a day. 30 is a full month. You're adding to the month half a day. So you're going to go back and forth every month, like for the most part. But since it's not exact, you will have sometimes in a year, right? If it was exactly 29 and a half days, then it would be literally every other month would be 30-day month or a 29-day month, and it would be perfect. But God didn't want it that way because he wants us to work for it, to be a partner with him. So we got to work for this. So therefore, it's not exactly every other, right? Rosh Chodesh was 2 days this month. Next month it'll be one day. The following month it'll be two. You'll have, as we're going to learn all this. I'm just giving you so you can just kind of get a vision of stuff, right? That you'll have that it could be Cheshvan, the month after Tishrei, after the holidays, or Kislev. They could be 2 days in 2 months in a row with 2 days Rosh Chodesh, because you got to make up for the 793 units over here over time. It's going to create another day, even though it's 45 minutes. So 793 units is like 45 minutes. So 45 minutes every month, right? 45, let's just do a quick calculation. I'm just sorry that I'm so times 45 minutes for 12 months times, let's say 10 years, it's going to give you 5,400, 5,400 minutes divided by 60. So it's giving you 90 hours. 90 hours is how many days? Right? Is 4 days. It's almost 4 days, just under 4 days. Where are you making up for? After 10 years, you got 4 days you got to make up, right? That are longer. So you're going to need more Rosh Chodesh days, 2-day Rosh Chodesh, right? In order that there'll be 30 days of that month. That's what's going to happen. Did you follow? Tim, you got it? Liba, you got it? Great.
So it's nothing to do with the leap year.
I'm no, not a leap year. There's nothing to do with a leap
Nothing.
year. Leap year is a completely different idea. This has just got to do with the fact Rosh Chodesh. We got a very important point over here that Rosh Chodesh, if to be precise, the new moon is 29 days, 12 hours, 793 units. The 793 units is approximately 793 of 1080, right? I think it's 48 minutes if I remember correctly, right, of the hour. So That's it. Okay. Accordingly, an ordinary lunar year, which includes 12 of these months, would include 354 days, 8 hours, and 800.
354
Well, do the calculation.
compared to 355.
If you did
Yes.
29 days, 12 hours, and 793, multiply that by 12, that's 12 months, right? So what you're going to get from that is 354, 8 hours, 876 units, which means you're short just under 11 days to equal it with a solar year.
Gotcha.
Okay? Now, a leap year, which means you're adding another month, would include 13 of these months, which would include 383 days, right? Because if you do, again, you're doing 13 times 29 and a half plus 796 units, right? So it'd be 383, 21 hours, and 589 units. Solar year is 365 days and 6 hours. Okay, quarter of a day, right? Thus, the solar year extends on an ordinary lunar year by 10 days plus and 21 days, 21 hours. Sorry, it's just 3 hours, less than 3 hours short of 11 days. And 204 units. He's giving precise over here. When the days of the lunar month are counted in groups of 7, meaning weekly cycle, right? There's a remainder of 1 day. So you're going to get every month on the day of the week, it's going to move over 1 day, 12 hours, 793 units. 112, right? 112, 793, right? Because 7 times 4 is how much? 28. So you got 28 days. What do you have left from our calculation? 1 day, 12 hours, 793 units. This is the remainder for the lunar month. So that will tell us that if Rosh Chodesh this month was Tuesday, Rosh Chodesh was,
Tuesday, I think.
sorry, no, it was Sunday, Monday. Was Monday, Tuesday. Sorry, I made a mistake. Monday, Tuesday, you were correct. Was Monday, Tuesday. But the first day of Rosh Chodesh was Tuesday. So next month will be over at least a day to Wednesday. But since it's a day and a half, sometimes it could be, as it adds up, Thursday, right? In fact, Rosh Chodesh is going to be next. May 28th is a Wednesday. That's where Rosh Chodesh is going to be.
May 28th is a Wednesday.
Right. It's going to be 1 day over. Just, that's what he's teaching us over here. So when the days of lunar year are counted in groups of 7, according to the weekly cycle, there is a remainder of 4 days. Right. Four days, 8 hours, 876 units. 4, 8 to 76 is the remainder of the ordinary lunar year. Right.
Okay.
Now we're dividing by 7, right? Because we're doing it now. The remainder of the leap year will be 5 days, 21 hours, 589. Right. That's now on the year. You're going to have left over from the week, right? So it means if, let's say, Rosh Hashanah was this past year on Shabbos, and it's going to be a regular year this year, right? It's going to be 4 days later, 8 hours, 876. So it's going to be, it'll be on
Thursday.
Wednesday, 4 days later, right? when you know the time of conjunction of the sun and the moon for any particular month and add 1, 12, 70, 796, we arrive at the time of the conjunction of the following month. So you're going to, this way, you're going to know exactly when the new conjunction of the sun and the moon, when they are coming back together, right?
So you know when to look.
Yeah, you know when you could look, when it's possible a new moon. Remember that what's important about this? Why do we need to know all this? Sounds very theoretical. Why? Because if you're a rabbi on the Sanhedrin, so you need to know when is the possibility of the next month's moon to be cited, that when witnesses come, you know if it's a possibility. They said, "Oh, I saw it last night." Well, last night was not a conjunction between the sun and the moon, so it's not possible. It's only tonight that it would be possible. You know. So we need to know these facts. Thus, you will be able to determine which day of the week, at which hour it took place, and how many units of the hour have been passed. So you can now, when you are dealing with witnesses, you'll be able to, to know if to begin with, are they telling the truth? Right?
Prove it.
I mean, no, they're giving testimony. Their testimony is what it's based on. You're gonna say, what do I need their testimony? We just figured it out. We know when it's gonna be. So why are we doing all of this? Why are we doing this? Anyway, hello. Anyway, speak up. Why are we doing this? Huh? Anybody online over here?
Because God told us to.
Thank you, Tim. Because God told us to do this.
He's smart.
Smart guy, that Tim.
Say hi.
God told us that this is the way we do it. So we do it this way. Now, we can give many explanations to it, but the bottom line is not the explanations. The bottom line is God said that this is the way we sanctify the new month, is by witnesses and by the court proclaiming it. Right? It's witnesses don't proclaim it, they just testify, and based on that, the court proclaims it. Right? So, what is implied? If the conjunction of the moon and the sun for the month of Nisan takes place on Sunday, 5 hours and 107 units after sunrise, in numerical value of terms, it's one day, 5 hours, 107. By adding the remainder of a lunar month, right, 112, 796, you'll be able to determine the conjunction of for the month of year, which would take place Tuesday night, right? Why Tuesday night? Because in Nisan, it took place Sunday morning, but now you're adding 17 hours. You're adding it, right? I mean, so sorry, it was 5 hours into the day, so you're adding then 12 to it, so it's going to be 17 hours in the day. What is 17 hours in the day? Nighttime, right? 12 for the day and 12 for the night. It's going to be 5 hours into the night, right? Plus the units. So it's going to be, 5 hours actually it's going to be 6 hours because when you add up, well, he's going to say determine conjunction. So it'll be Tuesday night. Why Tuesday night? It's because it took place Sunday during the day, right? But you're adding 2 days to it, Monday, Tuesday. Now on Tuesday, where is it going to be? It's going to be 17 hours because 5 and 12 is 17 hours of that day. But it's more than that because you add up 793 and 107 gives you more than 1080. Oh, no, gives you less. So it's going to be, approximately 55 minutes or something like that of that hour. So you know exactly 5 hours, 900 units after nightfall. Numeric value 359, 900. Now, for the next one, what are you going to do? So you add and follow the same method of calculation for every month. The next one, you're going to add 1, right? 12 and 793. So what the next month, let's just do it for fun because he's not going to do it, the Rambam. So this was Tuesday night. So now if you're adding 1, so to the, you're getting, you're adding 1. So that's coming from Tuesday. Where's it going? To Wednesday, right? And you're adding now 12. So that's going to be 17, right? Plus you're adding 796, so it's 17, it's 18. It's going to be in the 18th hour of the 24-hour day, right? So it's going to be now Wednesday night, right? The 4th day, Wednesday night, 18 in the 18th hour, so that's 6 p.m. It's going to be after 6 p.m. sometime. Approximately, I'll tell you, it's going to be approximately 6:30.
Exactly nighttime.
No, because you're going to add, it's going to move from night to day.
But you can see the
No, that's when the new moon is just, right, is potentially visible. Doesn't mean that you're going to see it then. That's when it first can be potentially visible. That doesn't mean you see it, right? But at least you need to know that before that it's not potentially visible. So if a witness comes and says, I saw the new moon Wednesday, in the month of Sivan, I saw it. I was there. It was 5 o'clock in the afternoon. I saw the moon. It can't be because it can only be at 6. An hour earlier was not possible. Means he wasn't telling the truth. Got it?
wow.
This is fascinating. I would love to continue, but
Gives you some idea why it's the first mitzvah.
yeah, fascinating. Any questions?
Hope so.
Fun stuff.
Come on, Tim.
All right. Amazing. Amazing stuff.